The way we manage our relationships with others is pivotal to the level of progress that we make in our life's journey. It is on this premise that we have decided to share important etiquette tips that can help you boost your relationship with others. A warm welcome to Refining Moment. My name is Uche. I am a refinement coach. On this channel, we talk about everything that covers personal refinement, starting from personal growth, character development, relationship management, and personality grooming. So on today's episode, let's share 10 important etiquette tips that can help you boost your relationship with others. Number 1, introduce others with their titles. This is very important as the way you introduce others matters a lot. Whenever you need to introduce anyone, make sure to always introduce them with their title. So if you want to introduce someone, for instance, you say, oh, meet Mr. John Obi, or meet Dr. or Reverend Mrs. this and this. It's always very important to introduce people with their title. Okay, remember to give honor to whom honor is due. Number 2 etiquette rule is to introduce yourself without your title. Yes, now when you have to introduce yourself, you do not need to introduce yourself with your title or your honorifics, regardless of how many you have. Okay, now this is very important because I see a lot of people commit this faux pas when they have to introduce themselves. If you have to introduce yourself, start with your first name first and your last name. There's a reason why your first name is first and your surname, which is your last name, comes last. But if you'd like for them to know what you do, if you'd like to let the people know what you're about, what you do, then you can say, my name is Uche. I am a medical doctor. Now let them take the initiative of referring to you as Dr. Uche, as against you saying, I am Dr. Uche. Did you get the gist? Remember, you don't want to come off as one who's sounding his or her own trumpet. Number 3, greet appropriately. Say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or hello, and mention the person's name when you have to start off a conversation with someone, especially someone you're meeting for the first time. Do not go saying hey or hi and then progress with your conversation. That will be considered of you as rude and impolite. So it's always appropriate and always proper to greet properly. Is that okay? Good. Number 4, resume your chat with a greeting. So I see this a lot of the time on social media platforms where you're chatting with someone. Take for instance, you started off a chat previously and you need to continue the next day. Instead of greeting, a lot of people just go ahead to continue with their chat as though it is not a new day. It is not appropriate. So for every time you need to resume a chat, it is always appropriate, always proper to resume with a greeting first. This is a new day, so it's always great to start with good morning or hello Uche, how are you today, and then continue with your chat. Of course, it is ideal to exchange pleasantries with whomever it is you're having a conversation with before you go ahead to proceed with your chat. Etiquette rule number 5, do not respond with who is this to an unfamiliar number, either on a call or on a chat. It is considered very rude, a very rude way to respond to anyone. Even if you're not familiar with the number, the appropriate thing to say or to the person is, may I know who I'm chatting with, please? Okay, or may I know who I'm speaking with? And then the person will go ahead to explain who he or she is. Okay, good. Etiquette number 6, still on phone calls etiquette. Now, do not drop a call that you did not initiate. Do not end a call that you did not make. Now, I see this oftentimes, with people. It's rather unfortunate that even adults who are supposed to know better fall culprits of these particular faux pas, where you're having a conversation with someone and you're barely finished talking and the person drops it. He or she didn't call you, okay? You called and the person drops the call on you. It is considered a very rude behavior. Rather, you should allow the person who called you the honor to drop the call when they're ready, to end the call. Even after you have said your goodbyes, it is not in your place to end a call that you did not initiate. Okay, so I understand that sometimes you may be involved or engaged in a conversation that seemed to be heated somewhat, and whatever it is you're hearing from the other end seems to be unpleasant and you do not want to continue hearing that. And I understand that at such times, one tends to be really angry or aggravated and is tempted to end the call, all right? But you should not do that. You shouldn't at all. What you should rather do is to probably pull the phone away from your ear so you're not hearing what the other person is saying. And I believe that when the other person, keeps talking and finishes talking and observes that you're not being responsive, he or she would end the call themselves. Bottom line is, you are not to end the call, whether you're angry or not. Sometimes also, after, finishing a conversation with someone and you have said your goodbyes, the phone tends to keep reading. I mean, I've experienced that a number of times where the phone tends to keep reading. You should wait for about 3 to 5 seconds. Be sure that the person has ended totally, because sometimes even after you said your goodbye, somebody, the caller remembers to say something and just wants to continue the conversation. So be sure that the person has moved on. So maybe let's say the person forgot to turn off the phone, so you could wait for about 3 to 5 seconds, after which you can then end the call. All right, so not ending it abruptly. Good. Etiquette rule number 7: remove your earpiece. So when you are in a face-to-face conversation with someone and you have your earpiece or your headphone on, it is appropriate and polite to remove it and give the person your undivided attention. Well, that says a lot about you. Okay, so it is important that you remove it while you're speaking to the person. What the message that passes to the person is saying, I am here with you and you have my undivided attention. So a lot of the times when people have this on and thinking, I'm not listening to anyone. Okay, keep talking. Don't worry, go ahead, I'm listening to you. People are not sure if you're really listening to them or you're listening to something else. So it is very polite and respectful to remove this and give them your full attention. Talking about earpiece, even when you're in public places where other people have, may interact with you. Say you're in a bus, you're on the road, you're in a church or anywhere, it is always advisable to have one ear open for communication with other people, with your environment. Someone may need your attention, someone may need you to do something. It is not always nice to have your 2 ears closed and you're oblivious to what is happening around you. Always have one ear open for conversation and for communication with your environment. The 8th etiquette rule for today's video is do not use pet names. Okay? Pet names like hi dear, dearie, my love, sweetheart, hey beautiful, and all the likes, especially to someone you're meeting for the first time, you're having conversation with for the first time. It is an anomaly, it is a faux pas, and I see this a lot on social media, inboxes on my Facebook, more especially, where people, that are just meeting for the first time are referring to me as beautiful, as sweetheart, as my love. Sincerely speaking, when I come in contact with such kind of messages from anyone, the first thing that comes to mind is this is an unserious person. So I do not necessarily take such people very seriously, because I feel that any serious-minded person will be wary of the kind of language that they're using, so especially someone that they're meeting for the first time. When people accept your friends request on any of the social media platforms and you just want to ensue a conversation with them, the appropriate thing to do is to thank them for accepting your friend request, okay, and then ask to know them better. Take for instance, hello Uche, thank you for accepting my friend's request. I am Johnson, I'd like to know you better. I mean, when I see such kind of conversation or such kind of chat, I'm quick to responding to such, other than the one that calls me beautiful, that calls me sweetheart, and the likes. So please, let's take note of this. This is important, and so that we can stop, because whether you like it or not, it is interfering with your relationship with other people, and people will not want to build connection or take the connection any further than what it already is, because they perceive you as a joker, as one who's unserious. So please, let's take note. The etiquette rule number 9 on my list is say thank you. Now, say thank you to any and every kind act meted out to you, whether this act meets with your expectations or not. Now, you are not just appreciating the volume of whatever it is that is done or given to you, you're also appreciating the thoughtfulness, of whatever it is that has been done to you or given to you. So you go ahead to say thank you, and not just thanks, casually, and then, give off this attitude that you're not that grateful, like, oh, what's the big deal? No. Always express your heart of gratitude for any kind of gesture meted out to you, any kind of kind gesture meted out to you. You never can tell what may come next after that. And I'd also want to say that you should learn how to write a thank you note to anyone who carries out any kind act or gesture towards you. Write a thank you note to them, and in the case of distance, you can actually do, say, a text message even after you have said thank you. Do a text message again, or send an email. You can send an email. The very first option is to do a handcrafted thank you note. It sends warmth to the heart of the person that you're really grateful for whatever it is that has been done to you. And I'm telling you, that always opens door for more. The 10th important etiquette rule that I have on my list for today is say you're welcome or it's my pleasure when someone appreciates you and says thank you. Do not leave them hanging. I mean, I see this a lot of the times, especially on comments of, maybe say on Facebook or on Instagram, where someone tells you, thank you for whatever it is that you may have contributed to their post. And people just leave them hanging. No, there's something that should be said. And what should be said is, you're welcome or it's my pleasure. This is very, very important. And when someone goes all out to say, oh, thank you so much, you can also say, you're so welcome or you're most welcome. Is that taken? Beautiful. And having said that, that has brought us to the end of this video talking about 10 important etiquette tips that can help you boost your relationship with others. And I hope you do enjoy watching this video as much as I did filming it. Please do let me know in the comment section below if you really did learn a thing or two from this video, and if you would like to see content of this type, from time to time, or if there's anything at all regarding personal refinement or character development or relationship management that you'd like for me to take up on this channel, on this space, please leave your comments in the comment section below, and I will definitely look into it. And please do not forget to subscribe if you've not done so yet. Click the button below to subscribe to this channel and share like, and of course, click the notification bell. Before I call it a wrap today, I'd like to quickly mention that all of these tips that I've mentioned today are some of the contents that were taken from my newly published book, The Polished and Classy You, a practical guidebook to helping you become an irresistibly elegant lady and a dashing gentleman. I'll leave the link in the description box below on how to get a copy of the book. You just want to get that book and consume the content of it, and then become that refined person that you've always desired to be in. Until next time, I want to say go ahead and be your refined self. Bye for now.